Hey y'all, it's Sydney Screams, and today's video is brought to you by Uncover Creations. Uncover Creations is a toy company based in the UK, and I'm no longer going to be referring to them as an indie toy company because I think that they've moved very far past that, and I'm no longer including them on my indie toy release days, which I try to do here on YouTube. I try to do my indie toys every Wednesday, and I try to do my indie toy reviews on my blog every Thursday, whereas my mainstream toy reviews on my blog are every Tuesday, and here on my YouTube are every Sunday. And so, just with everything that I've learned about Uncover Creations, I no longer think they're really an indie toy company, although they are still producing all of their toys in-house. There's just a lot, and it's not my place to inform you of all of that information. It's my place to give you the toy reviews. So, if you want to, you can do some research. I suggest checking the Bad Dragon subreddit, not just because I'm a moderator there, but because that is where all the information that I found lives. So. Uncover Creations. The other thing that I want to talk about real quick in regards to Uncover Creations is the fact that they have thankfully updated their shipping, or their packaging, I should say, their packaging. For a minute it was coming in the cardboard box with like cardboard or paper confetti in it, and so toys arrived honestly kind of dirty, not like dirty as in used, but dirty as in covered in dust and lint and ugh. And so it wasn't really a fun unboxing experience. However, they have updated, thankfully. I got my last order from them in March, and so March 2026, and it arrived with all of the toys that were from them in one shipping box, but in one like big plastic bag that held everything, which was, I think, 3 dildos and 2 grinders, plus a little bullet vibrator and the straps for the grinders. So everything came in one bag that was sealed shut, and it was a much, much better shipping experience. So yeah, if you were bothered by their shipping before, please know they've updated it, it's fixed, it's much, much better. Much, much better. But now it's time for the toy in question. The Lily Bud Dildo by Uncover Creations, which is one of their newer models. This was one of the toys, or one of the models, one of the designs that won the Design a Dildo contest that they hold, I think, annually at this point, where people can submit, anybody can submit their own designs to have Uncover Creations fan base vote and decide which toys Uncover Creations will eventually make into an actual dildo. And so I think that is how the Lily Bud Dildo came around. It is a floral themed dildo, and yes, I love flower dildos, y'all. I can't help it. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. When I saw that this had won, I was like, yes, that is the one that I want to review next. And so here it is in my hands. Love it. There are 4 sizes available of the Lily Bud Dildo. I got a size small, and there are 3 firmness options. I got a super soft, which has a 00-40 shore scale, and then there are 6 color options available. I got the UC Trademark, or the Uncover Creations trademark color, which looks exactly like this. It looks exactly like this. It's got this nice pink tip, a green shaft, and then a pink base. As you can see on the back, there is some color drippage, which I want to talk about real quick for a second. If you are buying toys that are custom made for you, as in you are picking the colors, you're picking the size, you're picking the firmness, all of that, you should expect imperfections. You're not buying a mass-produced toy. You have to give these toy makers a little room for mistakes. We're human. And even though I'm not considering Uncover Creations an indie toy brand, they are still pouring everything to order, except for like their pre-mates and stuff like that. And so it is very okay, and it is very normal to have a coloration splotch like that. Some companies may consider that a flop, some may not. For me, I tend to think of flops more as like there was a bubble somewhere that there shouldn't be, or it was nicked when it was pulled out of the mold, something like that, that does potentially affect the use of a toy. However, the colors, it is a hard thing to work with if you've never worked with silicone before. It is different than pour painting. It is different than resin pouring. It is a different material, and mistakes happen, drips happen. Don't be a diva, okay? Don't be a diva. It's not a big deal. It's a tiny little drip, okay? Okay, good talk. Anyway, the size small, oh my gosh, this thing is so floppy. The size small in super soft firmness has the following dimensions. It would have the same dimensions in any firmness. I'm just a little ADHD. Total length of 7 inches or 17.8 centimeters, an insertable length of 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters, a head circumference of 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters, a head diameter of 1.8 inches or 4.6 centimeters, a shaft circumference of 6 inches or 15.2 centimeters, and a base circumference of 10.5 inches or 26.7 centimeters. One of the add-ons available for a size small is a Vac-U-Lock hole. You can get a Vac-U-Lock hole on 3 of the 4 sizes. The extra small size does not have the ability to have a Vac-U-Lock hole just because the hole itself is a little too big and the size of the extra small is just a little too small. So you can't have both, unfortunately. I'm very sorry. I got mine with the Vac-U-Lock hole, which does add a level of flop and squish. You can see a lot more squish there versus here. And personally, I am not bothered by it. I have a little Vac-U-Lock port from, or port plug from Uberine that I've been using. I also have an ergonomic handle from Silk Arts that I like to use that has a Vac-U-Lock port, or that is a Vac-U-Lock handle, and so it pops in there. It gives me a handle that makes it easier for me to thrust this into myself, which is important because that was my favorite way to use the Lily dildo, is thrusting. I didn't love it as much without the Vac-U-Lock port plugged. However, I did still try it because of course I did. It just got a little more squishy down towards the base. And one of the things that I do really like about this model is the tapered design. I like that stretch. I like that feeling of, just opening me up just a little bit, And so without the Vac-U-Lock port plugged, it just wasn't quite as good at that. And so I tended to use it with the port plugged whenever possible. I also really did like it being thrusted versus just like inserting it and leaving it there, cock warming, if you will. I much preferred thrusting with the Lily Bud Dildo. I felt like the head especially was better for G-spot stimulation with the thrusting rather than just inserting it and whatnot. Yeah. The thing that I didn't love about the design is, to me, this is a grindable base. However, it didn't quite reach my clitoris, which was disappointing. I have a grinder like this, the Dahlia grinder from Faux Phallus, and the base of Seth from Master for Fancy also has a very similar base. And those had a little bit more grindable surface, whereas this one, the grindable surface is actually kind of minimal. And it didn't quite reach where I wanted it to reach. I wanted it to reach my clitoris. Instead, it just hit my labia, and I need a little bit more than just labia stimulation. So yeah. The design itself, aside from being floral, it does have a nice little curve to it. That's not just the size or the squishy, super soft firmness. That's just the design as a whole. However, the softness of this does make it so when it's on its side, it's not quite having the same curve. That's just how firmnesses can be, though, y'all. Yeah. I haven't even done a squish test. Here, what am I doing? So that's where the Vac-U-Lock hole is, and then you can see from the rest of it, there is still considerable amounts of squish there. Yeah, I really like this. I really like this one. I enjoy the head for G-spot stimulation. You could use this anally too, of course. However, if you're not accustomed to a tapered design, stretching can be very intense, as I'm learning on my anal journey. Thank you very much. I have not tried this anally. I've only tried it vaginally. Cassie, my wife, has not tried this simply because she's not super into super squishy things, and she prefers a bigger toy. But one of the things that I will say about the Lily Bud Dildo is I think that this is a really great design for someone who needs a discreet design, for someone who doesn't love a lot of texture but does want some, because hopefully you can see here, the head does have some texture, but it's primarily vertical texture and like gently raised bumps. And then the shaft itself doesn't have a ton of texture either. It has, again, some, but it's not a lot. It's moving diagonally, and for me, the texture was not particularly noticeable, partially because softer silicone makes texture easier for me to take or more comfortable for me to take vaginally, but also just because this isn't a heavily textured toy. It's a pretty low texture toy in terms of like indie toy companies. This, compared to a lot of the dildos from Uncover Creations, is fairly beginner friendly, maybe not the size exactly, but the overall design of the toy. Perhaps an extra small would be better for someone who is newer, but yeah. The other thing is soft silicone like this is a frickin' lint, dust, hair attractor. It just, everything clings to the surface. If I were to set this on the bed, I would suddenly find dust and lint on it that wasn't there 5 seconds ago, wasn't there 10 minutes ago before I washed this, before filming this video. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Yeah, this is a good design. I really did like it. Like I said, I was only using it vaginally, but I really enjoyed it. I like the stretch. I like thrusting with this. For me, this was definitely a thrusting dildo rather than a cock-warming dildo. I do have a full review of it, a written review of it, if you prefer that, up on my blog, sydneyscreams.com. However, I like to do both videos and blogs so that I can reach more of you. I am an affiliate for Uncover Creations, and I would very much appreciate if you use my affiliate link to shop. I do earn a small commission. Unfortunately, I don't have a coupon code, but I do earn a small commission from each purchase, and that just, I reinvest it right back into all of my reviews by buying toys that people request me to review, by buying toys that I'm interested in reviewing, etc. I take the affiliate money that I earn and I just reinvest. Also, it powers my website. So thank you all for buying using my affiliate links. I really do appreciate it. It genuinely helps me, and I really do try to reinvest that money right back into my toy reviews because I want to help you find the toys that will work for you. So I appreciate y'all doing that. Thank you, Uncover Creations, for sending me the Lily Bud Dildo. I really like it. I really do like it. It's a fun design. I like the stretch. I like the overall shape. I do wish I had gotten a firmer version. The super soft is just a little too super soft for me. I think I would like it a little bit more in a slightly firmer silicone, like a 00-50 Shore, I think would be slightly better for me, but that's also my favorite firmness. So, you know. I wanted to try something new though. And so yes, that is the Lily Bud Dildo from Uncover Creations. Please be sure to use my affiliate links. I'll drop it in the description below. I would love if you subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment here, let me know what you think of the Lily Bud Dildo or any other dildo from Uncover Creations. And of course, like this video, and I will see you next time for more Sydney Talks Toys. Have a great day, y'all.